Hello everyone, and welcome to the third installment of Thoughts from the Throne. To begin with, I want to thank everyone that came out to Spartanburg, South Carolina this past Saturday night to Big Time Wrestling. I was there, I main evented against Sabu in a tables, ladders, and chairs match, and from all the feedback I got, I was ecstatic that everyone was so happy about the match and enjoyed the match and loved the match. Everyone that I talked to after the match said, oh my God, it was like a pay-per-view quality battle that you guys put in, and considering it wasn't on television, why were you guys willing to do that? Well, I'll give you a very simple answer. It's because of passion. That's why any performer goes out and really entertains the fans. They know whether there's 20 people there or 2,000 people or 20,000, you have to give it your all and you have to make it worth its while. I want to give you a little bit of a funny story about the whole Spartanburg event. I just came from New York, myself and my lovely wife, Rebby Sky, and we landed in Raleigh. Our flights were a little delayed that day. We got in our Escalade and we hauled ass to Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we got there right at the time that the meet and greet started. So we were already kind of stressed and we were rushing around. Rebby rushed in. She was setting up Shop Matt Hardy, mobile Shop Matt Hardy for all the fans. And I went to the back and I gave the South Carolina Athletic Commission my physical and all my forms and my registration and everything for a license. I had to have a license for 2015. And I'd actually had the physical done by a member of the New York Athletic Commission, the doctor there. And they had told me, they said, oh no, look on the website. There's very fine print on the bottom that says you have to have your physical faxed in before the event. If not, then it's null and void. It's no good. So they actually made me go to the doctor that was there, and I had to have another physical, which pushed us about 15 or 20 minutes later on the whole meet and greet. So that was very stressful. Eventually I got out there and we met and greeted all the fans. I signed everyone's autograph. I took pictures with everyone, so everyone left happy. About 15 or 20 minutes after I was signing, someone said, what's wrong with your opponent? Have you seen Sabu? I said, no, I just got here and we've been rushing around. I haven't seen him. They said, well, Sabu kicked his table. He got up and left the meet and greet. So he's not here like taking pictures or signing autographs, and he was gone. I had no idea what was happening. Whenever the meet and greet was over, I went to the back and Sabu wasn't there. And I didn't know if he'd left the show. I didn't know what had gone on. I didn't know what was happening. And Sabu is a pretty unpredictable character, as it is. Later, I found out that Sabu had his physical as well, and he brought his physical papers with him from Detroit. He had it, I guess, at home sometimes. It's very odd even imagining Sabu at a doctor's office getting a physical. He's such an animal. But anyway, apparently the promoter, Steve Perkins, had to put Sabu in a car, and they drove 25 minutes away. They went to a country club, and Sabu got a physical by a doctor who was having dinner. He was having a lobster dinner. Sabu got a physical. He was sitting there. He was in total gimmick from head to toe. He had a keffiyeh on and everything. He was wearing the whole gimmick and had this physical in a restaurant. Eventually, he got back right before a match, and literally, we almost went straight to the ring. So, really happy with how it turned out. I have a few battle scars, but it's all good. I ended up winning the match, and I got a shot at the BTW heavyweight title coming up, so I think that'd be another great heavyweight title to add to my collection, considering I am an Octo champ. Let me get to what everyone wants to hear about, and that is TNA and the week that was in New York this week. First and foremost, I had a request to talk about Ethan Carter III from EC3 himself via Twitter. So I sat back and thought, what should I say, and should I address Ethan Carter, EC3? And no, I don't think I am. He's just, until he gets his little arrogant ass calmed down, I'm not going to talk about him. So request denied, EC3. All right, I want to talk about the Wolves. This Friday night on Destination America, myself and Jeff, we have a killer match with these guys. And if you miss this match, you will never forgive yourself. They're a great young tag team, and they beat the Hardy Boys. I'll give them credit. Give them credit where credit is due. But this Friday night, we are coming for revenge. And Jeff and I, we've been working out the last few weeks. We haven't told anyone, but we've broke out some new moves. We have a new finish. And we really went back in the old school playbook. And we have some cool stuff, and we're going to break some of that out on Friday night. Now, I know what everyone is thinking about, and I'm sure why everyone tuned into this video is to hear an update on Jeff's condition. And I'll be honest, whenever I told Jeff, I just called him a little earlier. I said, hey, man, I'm getting ready to do my vlog, Thoughts from the Throne, and would you like to be on? I've never had a guest. It might be cool to be on here and kind of update the fans on your condition since you've got a little info back and you've you know a little bit more about your condition now. And he declined the offer. And as you guys all know, my brother's a very private person. And when he's described as an enigma is truly what he is. It's hard to understand him. It's hard to describe him. It's hard to understand why he does what he does. But he is very, very special. There's nobody else, no other human being like Jeff Hardy on this planet. And that's something I can tell you. And it's a little frustrating to me, and I'm sure him as well, when you see people that are writers that report on wrestling online and on the internet, that aren't actually there and aren't actually in the know. They, talk to people and they hear rumors, they hear gossip, and they can't really delineate, what's actually true and what's not, what is not actually true. And, in wrestling, it's entertainment to a degree, so it's hard for people to know, like, if something was supposed to happen or if something was not supposed to happen. Well, what went down Friday night, that was the hardest 15 or 20 minutes of my life after Jeff fell. And, sure that people may think they know what was supposed to happen or what was going to happen or, what some sort of structure was going on. But only myself and Tommy Dreamer and a couple other people were there when Jeff was back in the dressing room, and only a few people knew what happened. And the biggest update I'm going to say is that, Jeff is going to be okay to live, and he's going to be a happy father, but as a performer, this event that happened in New York this week is going to change Jeff as a performer. Things are going to be different. And I don't know what that means long term, but I hope everything's okay. I've been back at TNA, and I think we've been kicking ass as a tag team. It's been awesome, and to team with him at this stage in our career and to be performing at such a high level is the best thing ever. And you'll see it every Friday night on Destination America. We have some special stuff going on. I want the Hardy Boys to be around for a long time, and I guess we'll know in the next few weeks if that's going to happen or not. So sorry to end on a down note, but I know you guys wanted to update. You wanted to hear a little bit about how Jeff was doing. Jeff says hello, and he thanks everyone for their support. He's not an internet person. He's not a Twitter person. He's not an online person, but he does thank you, and he appreciates the love. You guys be well, and we'll see you next week on Thoughts from the Throne.
Keep coming back. I got a family to feed.
Get with it, boy.